Okay, here we go. Act 1, Scene 1. I'm making this video series to document my training for the Dublin City Marathon, which is coming up in October, bank holiday weekend, so the end of October. It's currently start of June, so 5 more months to go. I started training for it in March. It's something that I've always thought about doing, but never really committing to anything. It seems like a lot of hard work and training, and up to now I've been a pretty casual runner, just running, you know, a couple of times a week. Certainly started during COVID, like I think maybe a lot of people did, and you know, I was running 2 or 3 times a week. Started off a couple of Ks each time, and then built up to around 10 Ks. So normally what I do is run in the morning or run on my lunch hour, and kind of tend to run the same 10K loop, and I would just run the same loop at roughly around the same pace, which would be about 55 minutes for the 10Ks, depending on how much I push myself. And then I just run that over and over with no real variance, and I'd always seem to pick up an injury. I mean, I guess you're repeating the same action over and over again, and the body gets stressed. You're not really prepping it in any sort of way. No real warm-ups, warm-downs, any of that. Very casual. And then I'd stop and I wouldn't run for a while, and then yeah, I get injured, a couple of months off, and then kind of start that series over and over again. So last year, you know, I'm really enjoying running, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, I'm going to take this a bit more seriously. So I decided at that point that I'm going to enter the marathon this year. That was like late October last year, probably around the time the marathon was on. So I decide to enter the marathon. I go onto the website, and of course entries have closed. So currently I don't have a ticket for the marathon. I am looking for one. So yeah, that's the current situation. I'm entered in the race series, so there's 4 races leading up to the marathon. One this Sunday, which is 5 miles, 8 Ks. One the following month, which is 10 Ks. Then the following month 10 miles, the following month half marathon, and then that brings us up to the marathon at the end of October. So that's the series. That's what I'm entered in, that's what I've committed to. At the moment, since the start of March, I've started working with a coach, Stephen Moody, and he's plans my runs for me each week. He sends me the runs, then I run the runs, obviously, and then I send him the data back, and then he works out the progress, I guess, from there, and the plan for the following week. So yeah, it's been really enjoyable. It's been nice to have someone do the planning. It just removes all the decisions for me. Like, I would spend a lot of time on YouTube watching videos about running and how to plan, and etc, etc. So I know the plan, I know that there's apps, I know that there's all sorts of other things out there, but for me it was just getting the coach was the easiest thing, in terms of just having someone else to do the thinking and the worrying about it. I can just literally know that there's 3 runs, Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. I know that they're in the Training Peaks app. I can look at them, I know what they are, and then I just go out and run them, and I don't have to think about it too much. I just send the data to him, he sends it back, and you know, that is it. So yeah, so I wanted to, you know, as I said, I spend a lot of time on YouTube looking at various running videos, and yeah, I just didn't really see anyone on there that was kind of in my position, that was kind of starting out, that was going from casual to looking to run the marathon. So yeah, I just decided I'd start making a series of videos. I don't know how often they're going to be, one every couple of weeks, just documenting what I'm doing. And, you know, maybe hopefully it gives people an idea of what's involved, because for ages and ages I was like, oh, I wouldn't know how to do that, or what's involved, or what does it look like, or could I actually do it? You know, going from someone who's a very casual runner, who'd never done it before, who'd experienced injuries and never really progressed, you know, what would it look like? So this is try to give people an idea of what it does look like and how it works. So yeah, so look, it's been an interesting journey so far. As I said, it's 3 runs a week. The Tuesday run is normally 8 to 10 Ks, and it involves a moderate pace, with the first 100 meters or 30 seconds of each run being an upward pace. So you've got 100 meters at a decent pace, and then the rest is kind of back to a moderate pace. So about 10% of the run being in that kind of upper range. Thursday runs are normally tempo runs, so much shorter, faster runs, just working on strength and power. They tend to be hill repeats, or I would be at the track back there plodding around doing laps. And then the Sunday run tends to be a longer run. The runs in the last few weeks as we build up to the 8K, the Thursday runs have also been, or the Saturday Sunday runs have also been tempo runs. So look, it's been really enjoyable. I'm really enjoying the structured format. I'm really enjoying, as I said, having the coach and building towards it. And then, like, as I said, the third part of it is I wanted to document it, one for myself, but also 2 to kind of help other people out who might be thinking about it and not really sure what it involves. And then 3, you know, I got a loan of this GoPro from one of my friends a couple of months ago, and I've started to make a couple of videos using it for the kids. So I figured the more I start using it, the better I'll get at those videos. And, you know, the more videos we'll have to document family stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. My plan is maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, just to do an update, share what runs I'm doing in those weeks so that people have an idea of what's involved. You know, to anyone who's thinking about it, I would say starting is the key. You know, for so long I put it off, and I was like, oh, I'd like to do this, I'd like to do that. Even making the video, I've been thinking about it for so long. But all of these things are the same. If you don't start, you'll never do it. And I'm a huge over procrastinator, overthinking things and then never really getting around to doing them. But, you know, in the last 18 months or so, I've tried to change that habit. And, you know, part of building a new habit is starting something. And so if you don't start, you'll never get there. So yeah, if you're thinking of training or something like that, follow along on the Dublin Marathon Facebook page or Instagram page. They post weekly run schedules up there. It's easy to follow. You don't necessarily need your own coach. There's loads of apps that do it. But the most important thing is, if you're thinking about it, just get up and start. You know, that would be the big piece of advice to take away, you know, from this first little video is, if you want to do it, you've got to get up and do it. You've got to start going. And once you do start going, you know, every week confidence just gets a little bit better. You know, you run a little bit further, you feel a little bit better, and all of a sudden you think to yourself, oh my God, you know, in complete naivety, oh my God, I am going to be able to do this. But it's a nice feeling to be part of the process, to be out doing something different, and to set yourself a goal that's difficult. Like, I mean, I would never have ever thought, you know, it's just always seemed far too long. I'd always get injured, my knee would be sore, have a problem with my foot, you know, something, any old excuse to not have to do it. But, you know, now that I'm out there, I have a structured training plan. You know, I'm not just doing the same run every week. My body is responding well to it. I'm really enjoying it, so I'm just really enjoying the process and the journey. So yeah, look, let's see how I get on. I guess, what are my goals? The first goal is to turn up on the training, turn up on the start line, and be physically fit enough and not injured to run the 26 miles. Second goal would be to do it in under 4 hours. Third goal, under 3 hours 45, and I would be ecstatic with 3 hours 30. Now, I don't know if any of those things are even possible. Like, I have no real idea of what is possible. I've never really run further than 10 k's. I've done a few longer runs now, but I don't really think by any stretch of the imagination that I am anyway endurance focused. I am you know, I've never been much of a runner. I've played plenty of sport, but that's all involves sprinting short distances and not running for hours on end. So it's a very different skill. It's something completely different to what I've done before, and you know, I don't know why I've picked those times. Are they achievable? Are they not achievable? One person will tell you they should be, and another person will tell you they won't. But look, I've given myself the best possible chance. I've gone and found a coach. I've committed to doing it, and you know, I think the consistency, hopefully the consistency will get me there. You know, a couple of hours, a few hours every week of getting out in there doing the runs, and I really enjoy doing the runs. It's great headspace, really clears the head, it's great exercise. You know, I live up here in the foothills of the Dublin Mountains, and it's a great area to run in, you know. Pretty much straight away you can be out in big wide open spaces like this, and it's just, I find it's just a great way to spend my time. It's a great way to start my day. So yeah, so that's the plan for the next little while. This is the starting point. It's taken me a long time to finally pull out this camera and finally get this video going, in the same way that it took me a long time to get off my backside and get out there and actually start training, commit to it, say that I want to do it, go and commit to doing it, because those are two different stages, and then actually going and doing it. So yeah, so we're mid-process now. Let's see how the process goes, and let's see where we get to. But yeah, 5 months to go, 3 months in, so let's take it day by day, step by step. You know, the old Instagram mantras, you can only run the kilometre you're in, and I'm trying to keep remembering that rather than trying to do the whole thing at the same time. So look, hopefully this goes well. Hopefully I keep a good cadence on this, and hopefully I can just, if nothing else, document it for myself. Something that I can look back on and remember that I did when I'm like 95 or whatever. And you know, if people follow along, and only one person, it gives someone the kind of the inspiration to get up and get going, and it helps, you know, one person, it would be brilliant. So look, there it is. Let's see where it goes, and yeah, on to next week, on to the next skate.